All right, I think it's time we got started. So, welcome. This is August 8th, 2023. This is our bi weekly town hall meeting. Bobinson, why don't you get us started with projects and development updates?
Sure. Thank you, Vlad. So I have a quick brief about our current engineering matrix. So instead of showing the four different metrics, I just have a snapshot. So over a period of last week, we have been uh, busy at work and various metrics that we have, the change rate time, throughput, and deployment frequency. All these metrics have showing excellent numbers. So these numbers are compared like last week's metrics against last 3 months. So we made a lot of improvement, and I think the same trend will continue this week with most of the MRs coming from the Together TR team. And in addition to that, we also have a session planned tomorrow for GraphQL. So that's some of the general updates. Now let's move on to the next slide for individual project updates. Uh, so with the first update is regarding the Peerplays one blockchain. So we have been working on the mainnet release preparations for a while. Uh, so so we have a public testnet running right now, and we've been observing few uh, challenges or issues here. One is we've been seeing a lot of micro forks, and another aspect that we're seeing is some of the nodes when the Sun plugin is enabled, they're not they're no longer able to sync with the rest of the networks. So we are investigating this. So it looks like some of the Sun related operations, which are supposed to start after the full and complete sync, they seem to be starting earlier than they're expected, and these machines which where we're running the testnet, they seem to be uh, of little low configuration compared to the mainnet nodes, and it's essentially triggering a lot of resource usage, and then they're falling out uh, of the rest of the network. That seems to be the issue. So we are investigating this. Doesn't look like a stopper, and if required, we'll provide a hotfix and then proceed with the release. Um, Now, apart from this, pretty much the release is pretty much primed. I hope this won't act as a blocker now. So that's on Peerplace 1. Let's go to the next slide. On Peerplace 2, the major focus is right now on research on the proof of pulse consensus algorithm. And before the implementation has started, we are also trying to understand how Substrate is handling the various consensus mechanisms, especially the BAPE and then the uh, finality mechanism, which is called as grandpa. So we're trying to understand these mechanisms in detail. Now, the finality is of special interest here because our original understanding was that we may not have to make changes to how the finality is handled. But it looks like the implementation and documentation is like it's differing a little bit, and also the voting aspect and the related weights that seems to be considered in the finalize the in this finality algorithm or grandpa. So we are trying to understand those so that the implementation of proof of pulse can be decided. And for the proof of pulse, once this work is completed, we will start writing down the LLDs. So when still not yet there. But in the next couple of weeks, we'll start having these documents in place. And another other work, so we have been investigating the Ink smart contracts and the Polkadot Signer UI. We are incorporating this so that we can handle the signing mechanism for Ink smart contracts. So the Ink smart contracts and it requires signing, which cannot be handled by the Polkadot UI or the Polkadot blockchain explorer, sorry, browser extension, which is not recognizing our chain because our address formats are different. But on the other hand, the Ethereum tools, vast majority of the explorers that we verified, as well as the wallets, they're working seamlessly. So that's another work which is progressing. And we've also provided with some updates to the uh, Peerplays 2 in a box environment, which will help the DApp teams to run the environment and also maintain persistence across reboots or any crashes. So that is another work which is progressing. So we will be using certain deployment based on the current pre-alpha for the Together D app. So that work is also being carried out by this team. So that's Pair Plus 2. Let's move on to Together. On Together, we are right now preparing the preparing for the launch of the MVP. And the current release is 0.31. It's also deployed in this URL toto.pairplace.download. The As of now, what we have completed integration with Postgres, which will send out the letters, and integration with a blockchain, that is the pre-alpha release of Peerplays 2. That's also nearly completed. So what happens is, before sending out these physical letters, a copy of these letters will be stored onto the blockchain, and all the financial transactions in-app credits, etc., will be managed by the blockchain. And the QA is focused on verifying the MRs, as and when an MR is available, they are treating this as a release candidate and verifying this. So we're not looking at low hanging or low priority issues right now, but rather blockers or high severity issues are being investigated. And for the MVP's deployment, we are considering a multi-site deployment so that any crashes or other scenarios can be handled, and we can achieve uh, high availability. So that work is also going on. And this week, most of the focus will be on integrating various integrations that we have completed, as well as the work on Stripe. So this means the final touch is the payments. So people will have to purchase in-app credits to use the app. So that's being uh, worked on this week. So that's pretty much everything from the development team. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Robinson. Now we'll go to marketing and content updates. So I'll get started with content and search and gather. So YouTube Shorts continues to be doing well in terms of viewership, and we're still seeing growth in our LinkedIn audience. I think we added like something like 40 new followers to our LinkedIn over the past 2 weeks. And we are porting some of the videos created with Opus AI to our TikTok and beginning to test it there. And we're seeing a little bit of traction already, but we'll see more of that during this week. Search and Gather will be assisting some of our product testing campaigns. They presented a preliminary plan for this, but we are creating most of the copies internally because we couldn't reach, we couldn't get the copies with them to the point where we wanted them to. On the community front, the newsletter has gone out uh, last week with almost 1,000 opens and provided some important updates about our strategy entering the substrate space, as well as Peerplays 1.5.24 beta, the hard fork, and also gave the community sort of a little insight on what we're working on. If you haven't yet, go check out our new website and you can sign up for the newsletter there. I've also shared it on Telegram a few times. And many community questions came in around the strategy that we are implementing, joining the substrate space, joining the smart contract space, and more of this will be shared during community questions at the end. Um, Oksana?
Hello, everyone. We are excited to announce that the Suns page is now officially live on Peerplays website. We finished development of the page and welcome you to visit the page on peerplays.com/suns. Our team continues to work diligently on daily adjustments and improvements to the SEO for Peerplays website. By optimizing content, keywords, and meta tags, we aim to enhance our website visibility and accessibility across search engines. To improve website performance and reduce load time, we have initiated the implementation of preloaders and on selected pages and page elements. An ongoing effort to refine the Peerplace website include graphic optimization and various tweaks to ensure optimal performance and visual appeal. This enhancement contribute to more engagement and efficiently browsing experience for our visitors. We have started integrating AI predictive analytics into our processes to optimize various aspects of the performance. This data-driven approach will help us to make informed decisions and enhance user satisfaction. Next slide, please. Continue to update the graphics for our biweekly newsletter. These updates will create a cohesive visual identity across all communication channels. Work has commenced on the development of the new Peerplace branding guidelines. These guidelines will establish a unified and consistent brand identity, ensuring that all visual elements aligned with our values and goals. A part of that, some graphics are being created for the Together app and currently in development and revisions. That is all from graphics and branding this week. Thank you.
All right, Jonathan, collaboration updates.
Good day. These are the collaboration updates for Peerplays this past bi-weekly. Within the standards area, we worked with the Government Blockchain Association. We had 2 calls with them over the past week where we contributed to their blockchain maturity model in regards to decentralized ID. The gaming group hasn't started yet. I mentioned that in the previous biweekly, but it hasn't got started yet, so we haven't contributed there. But within the decentralized ID area, we have been making some good headway and working with everybody there on that, so that Peerplays and how it works with decentralized ID will be something incorporated into their blockchain maturity model. So that's good. Within the gaming sector, we've been working with Gaming Benefits Corp on this regulatory gaming dashboard. What this will do is it will allow for them to be able to present a dashboard which will be used by regulators within the gaming sector. So this is an important step towards having Peerplays incorporated into that. In our last meeting, there was talk about how there may be some involvement with GLI in regards to wanting to be involved in node operations as well, meaning that they would be looking at running nodes within the Peerplays network also, along with regulators looking to run nodes within the Peerplays network as well. So this is all focused on the current Peerplays core blockchain. This isn't related to the future work. This is all live and on chain using some of all the elements that we've developed over the past few years, and now it's just moving towards being used within this regulatory gaming dashboard. So that's good news within the gaming sector, and where Peerplays could see some use in relation to being a regulator tool that they would look at pushing out to other gaming entities across the industry. So pretty exciting news, and everything is on track as far as how Gaming Benefits Corporation is executing that. So that's good. Within dedicated team updates, no changes. Team is just working hard throughout the summer and getting things done. So that's all the updates for Peer Plays this week. Thanks.
Thanks, Jonathan. And we'll move to community questions at the end. So there's been a lot of activity in our community chats. The first question that came in is the move to Substrate going to accommodate automated market making for bets and prediction markets?
I'll try to answer that, Vlad.
Yeah.
Uh, so the Peerplays 2, as I was indicating earlier, it supports smart contracts of pretty much any type. Like Solidity smart contracts can be written, and for anything that's a little more powerful, like needing to process data or needing to directly access the storage, etc. We have the Ink smart contracts also. So these capabilities can be used to develop pretty much anything, not just AMMs uh, or targeted at prediction markets. So the answer to that is yes, we can. We have the support for DeFi or AMM and prediction markets, and we are also planning to port some of the functionality like DEX, etc., like to the chain. But what exactly is going to be the priority, that will be decided later. I hope that it answers that question.
Okay. Thank you. And the second question, I'm going to rephrase it a little bit. So, what is proof of pulse, and how is this consensus mechanism implemented in Peerplays 2.0, if at all? Um, and yeah, either you, Robinson, or Jonathan, whoever thinks.
Yeah, I can attempt to answer that as well. So in general, what's happening with proof of pulse is that we are changing the way block producers are selected to a randomized manner. This is going to be very similar to how the miners are winning blocks in a proof of work network like Bitcoin. That is, who finally generates the block or who wins the mining is pretty much random. So we will have a similar mechanism in proof of pulse where each during the each cycle the block producers will be selected randomly using the uh, various random functionality which is available within the substrate framework. So we have something called a verified randomness function. So we'll be using that to identify the block producers. So this means the voting cartels and such challenges with proof of stake and similar attempts will not work any longer. And in addition to that, we'll also be adding ability for end users to directly participate in the reward mechanism. Simply put, the end users who are part of various powers can contribute to the rewards. Something like each reward cycle can claim or execute user level smart contracts, and assuming that they provide rewards, the block producers can receive those rewards as well. This means various communities which are active on the chain can participate directly in the reward mechanism. Now, as for the implementation in Substrate or Peerplays 2, we have not started the implementation yet. We are working on designing the exact methodology to get this going. From a very high level, we are planning to take two of the most popular algorithms available within Substrate, which is Babe for consensus and Grandpa for finality. And we are planning to use them directly or with some modification. Now, what's happening right now is we're trying to take away some of the remove some of the aspects like voting, which is tightly uh, tied with consensus and finality. But we are, yeah, still in the design phase. So once that is done, we'll have the LLDs published that can help anybody to understand more about how the implementation is going to work. Yeah, that's it.
Great. Thank you. All right. Thanks everybody for joining, and we will see you in 2 weeks since these are bi-weekly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.